Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We're going to be going through live order flow using Bookmap. And very simply, our goal here is using Bookmap.
Hold on just a minute.
And very simply, our goal here is to understand participants in the auction process. And using order flow is the way to go. The only way that participants or traders can react in the market is with their orders. So it follows suit or makes logical sense here that we want to understand the condition of the order flow to give us an edge to those participants in the auction. We can go through many examples. We could go through it all day long. But we're going to be looking for specific opportunities in there. Might be trapped volume from some of these traders, or it might be these traders just massively telegraphing us that this is going lower or this is going higher, whatever the case may be. But we want to put this all together in a cohesive outlook, and that's what we're going to do in this webinar. So there's a process we have. It is the process that we have here in the Bookmap Academy, understanding what's moving the market, the impetus, what's going on out there. Well, there's a lot going on geopolitically, also just economically, economic news as well. Now they're both combined in this case. We want to look at the key levels. There's some key levels we're hitting right now. And then we want to develop strategies and scenarios around these key levels, perhaps a time of day or swing highs, swing lows, and start to come up with how we want to the scenarios that we build are kind of like, well, it might do this or it might do that. Then we look at the order flow to give us that insight, and then we choose the setup that we're looking for. Okay, the setup is something we've studied. We know we have an edge. I'll talk more about that in just a second. And then we grade that setup, determine the likelihood of that setup, and then we determine the sizing and risk on that. If it's not a really quality setup, you're not going to want to risk a lot on it. So it's very, very important to go through this process in here. And then finally, it comes down to an order flow event that gives us that edge that we're looking for to execute and manage. All right, that is the process in here. We had our Bookmap Academy meeting last night. For those that attended, we do this every Thursday at market close, 4 p.m., 4 to 6 p.m. East Coast time. If you want to join the Academy, it is simple. Come over to bookmap.com, click on the More button. Bookmap Academy is under community right here. Click on this link here, and then you can sign up here. There's no cost to it. You'll have to have at least the Bookmap free version, but you're going to get a lot more out of it if you have a Bookmap subscription, okay, to make content. It'll be much easier. There's a step process in here, and we're happy to give you Bookmap if you meet the criteria, the quotas over time. And the way that you're going to do this is through journaling. Okay, so you're helping yourself understand order flow, and we'll help you with subsidizing some of the costs, and we'll provide you a very robust community to boot along with it. You become a coach, you can become a streamer. There's a whole process here. Now, let's move on though. There's more. There's Bruce's pilot program. Now, this is a subset of the Bookmap Academy. And what do we do in here is we build an edge, because this is the most important element that is missing that I've seen from most traders. And I've worked with thousands. And they come and they want to be traders. They want to make money, and they can understand setups, but they don't know if they have an edge with that setup. So typically what happens is they poke around, put some money on it, make some money, lose some money, maybe don't manage it too well, lose some more money, and then they go and try another setup. They have no idea if they have an edge with that, and that's what we're here to rectify. We have a structured process that is measurable, that will build your edge. You will be building it. And this is the fastest method I've seen. I think it's fantastic. You will build your own confidence in here through trading and experience, but you'll also capture data as you go through the process. Building out an edge it takes some time. All right, so this process in here, though, you'll go through very, very quickly, because you'll be using replay mode and capturing the data in there as you build your experience. Anyway, if you're interested in this, then there's no cost to it either. Well, actually, you will need to have a subscription to Bookmap for that. So it's under community. It's right underneath here on the Bookmap website under Bruce's pilot program, and you can sign up here. All right. Yeah, read some of the other traders in here, what they've mentioned about it. Come over to, once you sign up, come over to the chat room and introduce yourself. Okay. Anyway, good stuff there. Let's go through the disclosures, but I want to go through one more news item. General disclosure: all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, the other news item: congratulations to Thibaut. He won the Blue Jacket competition. It was using the Bookmap trade control panel, taking trades from it and managing his trades. And he gets 3 months of Bookmap Global Plus for free, plus data. Okay, one exchange of data, plus he gets the coveted Blue Jacket hoodie sent to him as well, and it is on its way. Thibaut, you've been doing some really great work over in the academy. He's part of the academy. He's also part of the pilot program, and really making some great content and some great work there. He's on his way. He's been in the program for a bit, and I'm seeing nothing but quality work from him. So congratulations to you. Anyway, let's move on. Take a look at these markets in here. Guys, look at this market. Wow. I mean, we may use this for an example. Look at how you can understand so much of what's going on in this market with Bookmap due to the liquidity heat map. Okay, the liquidity heat map, if I take this off, okay, you really don't see anything in here. Where are the orders? You just see this kind of move down, and from 5 a.m. East Coast time, down to about a little after 6, 6:15, 6:10, and then you see it kind of chop and come back up into these areas in here. You see some buying in here as well. You might think that maybe buyers would take it to the upside in here. Well, we have the 9:30 cash open. We see the move down, below a little swing here. We're talking about just market structure now. We see the move back up, and then we see the move down. Heavy move down, heavy volume. Okay, now what I want to show in here is the heat map. Let me... Actually, I took a trade earlier, which I may or may not show you guys. It's a little early, so let me hide those orders for now. It's not working. All right. Well, anyway, we'll get into it. Okay, so here's what's happening, and for me, this is pretty profound. Look at this high liquidity in here on the offer here, and here. Okay, these are players in here loading up. All right, so we can zoom into this and start to understand these areas in here. Now, actually, here a lot was pulled. Okay, you can look right at it, and you can see that there's a huge chunk of orders in here. Let's just go into this, and I'm gonna go through it one by one in here, and we're gonna kind of abandon the the process in here of the top-down approach, impetus. We'll get to the impetus in a minute, okay, and then key levels, etc. Because this is just so good here. This in here, typically, guys, this is a spoof. Okay, it's like a spoof in here. This is layering. It's called layering. There are 3 levels in here of high liquidity. Okay, and we can see precisely when it came into the market. Here, let me brighten it up a little bit. And how long it stayed in here, and if it transacted or not. But what we want to understand via the order flow, like when we first started the webinar, is what kind of effect does this have on the market? These orders came in and the market sold off, okay, and it traded back down into high liquidity down here. Okay? Now, not much traded down here. In fact, they even kind of chased up after it here with high liquidity. Now, these are limit orders. Guys, I know that this is, just bear with me in here. This is kind of introduction. We'll get to the more complex stuff here, or not complex, but more trading and setups in just a minute. We're kind of setting the stage here, basically. Anyway, so this had an effect on the market. Okay, it went below the swing here. It pushed below, and it went down into this area here. There's some liquidity down here. Didn't really transact at all, and then we see buyers came in and they're interested. Now look what happened up in here. Okay, they're going for these orders in here, and what did these guys do in here? They pulled that liquidity. They pulled it away from the market here at this moment as price is coming up here, and also here as price is coming up. So did they have the intent to trade in here? Did these limit sell orders that are heavy, they're high, it's high liquidity in here. Let's just hover over it here. You can see, 124. Now this is at pre-market. This is a lot. Okay, this is a lot of limit orders. 124, 100, 101, 109, 126. Okay, it is likely the same player, and that has a lot of liquidity in here and had no intent to trade. Anyway, so we're starting to read and understand that, okay, well, if this guy is not going to trade and we still have buying pressure come into the market, we look for it to trade back up into areas of high liquidity on the offer. Okay, some pretty simple market mechanics and basics in here. So it does trade up into high liquidity in here, and someone wanted to get filled here. All right, and let's take a look at those orders. We can look at 728 and see the large lot tracker in here. One order is probably 700 or maybe a little bit more, and just a small fraction are yeah, probably about 700. You can see here 24, 25, 22, somewhere in here. So plus 700 is 728. Makes sense. They transacted. Okay, the buyers took them on. Okay, these players in here, whatever their position was it to cover or was it to enter? But they are. This is a sell order, and the transaction took place into it. There was still more buying pressure. Okay, so was this absorbed? No. Okay, there's still buying pressure that came up above it here, and it went up to this area of liquidity. Okay, and it traded up into this liquidity here, 62. All of them transacted in here. Okay, in fact, I see 64 over here in the volume column. Okay, that's how you can verify this. And all of it transacted. Now, let's ask a question up here about absorption. Guys, if we want to just cover some of the definitions in here so we're all on the same page, that's absorption. Okay, there is not enough buyers to trade through that up into these other areas up in here. Okay, so we see a pullback all the way back down, and we hit high liquidity down here below the swing in here. Now, this is kind of nasty stuff in here. The market is really gyrating around. it trades back down to high liquidity here, hits it, trades it, and then goes all the way back up. Now let's just zoom out a little bit and get our bigger picture approach in here. There's a lot of liquidity on the offer. Okay, this is meaningful. Okay, they want to sell up here, this is a good price. The market is telling us that. Anyway, here is the just before the cash open, the move up to the swing. Let's just zoom into the cash open. Okay, it just starts to sell off right at the cash open, retest back to the open here, as you guys can see, and then it sells off pretty hard. Okay, where does it go? Okay, goes into high liquidity all the way down. Okay, so now how do we put these pieces together in here? We understand there's high liquidity in here and the transaction took place. Okay, that's good. We want to see this. We want to see what happens after. Okay, the transaction took place. There's still more selling pressure. Okay, more aggressive sellers, market sell orders hitting the bid, taking liquidity off of the bid and moving price lower. In fact, we even see a bit of a flip of the book here. High liquidity that was here transacted on the bid. Now it has flipped to the offer, and some of it transacts in here, and that's about it. We go back down to the bottom of the range, and we continue on down. We continue to find sellers take prices lower, hitting liquidity all the way down. Now, guys, in the pilot program, this is one of the setups we look for in here, is understanding high liquidity getting filled on the way down. Okay, this is something it's great that it's becoming clearer and clearer as we go into the more and more details on this setup. Okay, so we need to see. This is good. This is part one of the setup, one of the criteria, the first one. That is like, is this transacting on at least 3 levels? And oh yeah, it is, right? More than that. Then we want to understand though, if we're down at a key level, and we are here. Look at this. We're at 6,600. Okay, that's a key level. Let's jump back and take a look now at our higher time frame though as well. And it is a key level. Okay, it's right here. Okay, this is on the hourly, well, here, let's just take a look here on the 15-minute chart. Okay, here's 612. Actually, it's 6612. Is this rolled? Yeah, it has rolled. Okay, great. So my rhythmic chart has rolled to the new contract, and we're good to go. Okay, so anyway, it's a century figure, and I actually don't see the swings here. It's at 11.5 or 12 here. We break through it. We trade back down into that area, or into that that 6,600, and through it. Okay, there's still more sellers, more selling pressure. Okay, so now let's take a look at this in here. What does it look like down in here? Okay, do we see more sellers? Some, but see how it's starting to taper off in here? See how like all of these limit buy orders start to absorb a lot of that selling pressure. Okay, and we get to a certain point, and that's where we're looking for the potential for buyers to start to come in. That maybe we've all of these limit buy orders have absorbed the selling pressure. Okay, and we do get to a certain point, and we see buyers come back in. Now, this is hitting a single in that trend line break accumulation, and this is pretty aggressive in here, guys. You know, I just want to demo the idea in here. Okay, we see the aggressors come in. You can see them from sell side to buy side. Now, be careful on that. We're just looking for a pullback and hitting a single up into this area in here. Okay, we can even look at kind of measured moves of areas something like this to this. Okay, because there might be more sellers after that. Okay, we don't know. Anyway, the and we have to wait and we have to watch and take a look here. But you can see a lot of times we get these pockets of buyers like this, and there's more selling after, a lot more. Will come down more. And then you get another pocket of buyers in here though. Okay, so we're starting to see and understand this context turning the ship around of limit buys, limit buys, limit buys, and then aggressive buys. Okay, structure breaks. Those aggressors start to accumulate in here. These little pockets in here. Okay, so now we start to look at, again, structure the volume in here. See the buyers starting to come in here now. Okay, where are the sellers in here? Okay, what about this structure? This structure hasn't broken yet. Okay, and I'm talking about this bigger one here, above 6,600. Okay, so maybe in a smaller time frame, yeah, we would look for the test back up here right now. This is pretty good accumulation by the buy side. Okay, so now I wouldn't look for much out of that though. Just up to maybe 6,600. All right, so I'm lowering my expectations on that, and I'm looking for more kind of a micro move using these same concepts in here. The bigger picture is we need to wait. Okay, the bigger picture is here. Okay, we need to God, we can even probably make even something like that. That's a little much. Anyway, the bigger picture is here. Okay, and now we've got it's kind of flirting with breaking that that trend line and accepting higher. Okay, let's put in. Let me bring down the brightness here, and then let's take a look at this in here now. Okay, so now we've got this structure being tested. Now let's look at this structure here, and let's see if we can break that one. Okay, we were just looking for it right now, thinking this is pretty good aggressive accumulation just to come up to here, just to come up to there, I'm still kind of looking for it. All right, so we're still in the game here. We're in this little area here. Okay, now we don't know, right? Maybe more sellers, we trade back down to 65.90 and we continue. Okay, but we're reading this, we're putting the pieces together, we're understanding really what's happening here in the market. Very simply, buyers, they were getting filled in these areas here with their limit buys. We start to see less selling, aggressive selling, and we see some limit buys down in here, and we're starting to see clusters of aggressive buying. Right, so this is what it takes to finally kind of turn things around, and then see the market potentially go back up and revisit some of the swings or some of the high liquidity at some of these areas up in here. Okay, I mean, you can even see it way up here at 66.50. All right, so anyway, this is putting this kind of cohesive plan together for this setup, and that's what I wanted to cover in here before we get into the bigger picture here. All right, the kind of impetus and the swings, etc. Are you guys with me on this? Is this I know this is kind of a review for a lot of you, but we're trying to put this into an objective, cohesive plan and understand the activity of the participants in the auction here. Right, so let's see here. Good morning, everybody. Repeat how Bookmap plays in nuts in this down percentage. Okay, you're looking at the MNQ. I'm sorry, I don't follow you. Repeat. right, guys. Well, here yes, accepted also. Okay. Well, right now, like we're looking for this potential turnaround in here, and also our time of day is perfect for this. Now, again, though, let's take a step back in here. Okay. I mean, the market fundamentals in here, or the geopolitical stuff, is pretty concerning. Markets are not happy about this. Okay, so maybe this is all we get out of this in here. These little clusters of buying in here, and maybe we're just getting a break in here, and then we see selling come back in again. And we don't really know, but we can take a look at this order flow in here to give us some clues and insights in here. So I would say, like right now, this failed to break out of our little area up in here, and it failed to get up to 6,600 right now. Okay, we see that selling come right back in. Okay, now here comes the buyer response again, and that was some pretty heavy selling in here just again. Okay, so let's take a step back and take a look at this in here. Okay, do we really see in here that transition from sell side to buy side? Okay, in my mind, like I covered in this small time frame, yes, I do see it on this small time frame over here. Okay, however, if I look at the bigger time frame in here, and all of this with the delta bars down here, I don't see it. I don't see it yet. All right, so it really, when it hits you over the head and you really see that transition, you'll see these kinds of bars here on the buy side over here. All right. Okay, so we wait and we watch and we look for the good setup. Okay. Now, as we get into the low volume pullback or the continuation moves, this might just turn into a big wedge pattern in here, or maybe a fake breakout and it reverses and comes and the trend continues. Okay, but before we get involved into all of that, let's take another step back for just a second here, and let's look at the higher time frame stuff. Is vitally important. Let's see. John yesterday at the close of the Bookmap Academy meeting put in a nice post that, guys, it's options expirations in the midst of all of this going on right now. So there's a lot happening in these markets, and you don't have to trade, right? And just the number one thing here is to be able to withstand trading when the opportunity is better. Okay, and if it doesn't make sense, then stay away. Right, we want to control, like what's the overused analogy of, like, yeah, I'm just keeping my powder dry. Okay, so yeah, here we are back up here, and we see that buying starting to pick up. Okay, now is it enough? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I like it, actually. It looks pretty good. Here's a pullback. Okay, there's a kind of a low volume node in here. It's not the lowest, but if we do see buyers come back in here, a lot of buyers, okay, I would look for a skew in the order book, which we already have here. You can see 97. There's some on the bid here. Okay, so now let's see if they stay here, and let's see if we get buyers up here at 6,600. There they are. Okay, now I look for it to stream back up into 04 liquidity. Okay, maybe 08, maybe 10. All right, this is kind of what we were looking for over here. We didn't get it. Okay, now we're starting to see it. Okay, now what kind of volume is this in here? How big is it? Now it's starting to build. Okay, it looks better. So I think it even is more likely we're going to hit 08 and 10 now. All right, so we're reading this context in here and putting these pieces together. Right, so we don't know, right? But we're going to assess the risk and look at the order flow in here. Okay, so far so good. And now let's see if we can get some more buyers come in here and then get our move up into 08 and 10. Okay, repeat. Let me see here. We have 3 highs, higher lows now. Okay, in a range trade. Nice, excellent. Okay, yeah, market structure, repeat. It's kind of, that's let's see, that's kind of like the bigger picture, really. And then you look for your, and then you're looking for your low volume nodes. Okay, yeah, yeah. And look for not only a low volume node, but a pullback on low volume as well. That's the setup we're going to be covering in some detail, and for that pilot program. Anyway, yeah, let's see if we can get this squeeze here to the upside. All of these sellers in here as well, trapped, and see a nice squeeze back up into some of these higher levels in here. Okay. All right. Well, as we're waiting for this to play out here, let's go back and let's look at our higher time frames and our impetus and our higher time frame swings. We'll cover, like, the stops in here if you guys are trailing your stops. We missed trading his life yesterday, but we covered trailing stops in here as well yesterday, and he's our kind of resident expert there. So anyway, as this breaks, see how, like, it broke this swing here. Okay, well, at that point you can move your stop up. Okay, and you'd move your stop up one swing below. Okay, now it's accepting above in this area in here. And now this is pretty conservative for moving your stops. Then we'll take a look, guys, at the bigger picture here. Okay, because this is working out pretty nicely here so far. Now it broke this level here, right? So now it's accepting above in here. Now what you can do is you can move your stop up to under here. Okay, once it breaks and accepts higher, now you can move your stop up to this swing here. All right. Okay, trailing your stop, so gaining as much as you can in here, and look for when that high liquidity transacts into a swing, whatever it is, however you want to manage this. It's kind of up to you. Now it broke this little swing in here, and it broke out from here. Now you can move it up to here. Okay, makes sense? Right, so now you can see it's creating another little swing in here, and we need to see it break, though, that, and now we want to see it accept here. Okay, and accept higher here, because otherwise you're just going to get knocked out. Okay? Now, guys, if you see like high liquidity trading in here, now this is something Trading His Life hasn't covered, but John has, from the Academy, when you see high liquidity transacting in here, and then you start to see selling coming in, just take your profit. Consider taking your profit, because look at the selling coming in now. Okay, you don't have to take a full stop, even though you're trailing in here. You don't have to do that, right? So you would have saved yourself, like when you see this kind of selling coming in here at that swing here. You can take your profit here. That would have saved you about 3 or 4 points or so. All right. Okay. So these are the things we go over in the Academy meeting, in the pilot program, in depth, right? And we're going to do even more of that soon. All right. Anyway, guys, some good stuff in here, and thanks to all the coaches for all of their good work. DNT as well. He was there yesterday and had some really good insights. Yeah, it just kind of warms my heart. I think we've got a great bunch and a great community. All right, let's see. Let's jump back into here. We sidestepped this. So this is a pretty, here's our daily over here. It's been really back and forth in here. The momentum is to the downside. We traded to some of these swings just today and we are below them. I'm looking for the next swing down here, and then maybe even down into these areas in here. Okay, there's still a lot left in this candle. Okay, look at some of the other candles in here. Okay, these are daily candles. Okay, they're pretty big, they're pretty wide, and you know, this one is still short for now. We can see it come back down into 85 here, or you know, maybe down into, well, the lows down here at 65.25, but there's also 65.50 here. Okay. First stop though, I'm looking for this 65.85. Right now, that's a lot of points in here, but and you know, it's not going to go directly down into those areas in here. Okay, it's going to be pretty choppy, especially due to the options, triple witching, options expiration, all of that good stuff. Let's see, trading is life. All right, some more insight here. Love to hear that. Oh yeah, you'd love to cover that stuff. Don't worry, you'll get your trading is life. You're going to get your opportunity more than you more than you want. So I will lean into that. No problem. Looking forward to it. All right. All right, guys. So that's what I see on the daily. It's momentum to the downside. The hourly here, we go below these swings in here. We are accepting now. The same thing that we were just looking for on the way up, how we were accepting above an area, right? Look in here on the hourly. We are accepting below. It just all that little move that we just saw was just a retest back up into here on the higher time frame. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. It's back up into here on the higher time frame. Right? In fact, so far, you can look at this 15-minute chart. Maybe you guys can't see that too well. Let me put in a few less bars here. See the swings up in here, right? This happens all the time. Okay, so what we have, and we outline this in the academy all the time, is not that. We have an area here. It broke out and it started to accept here. It totally gapped down back into this range in here, and now has broken it, and now is accepting down here. Okay, so now we're going to start to look for continuation moves down to these levels. So let me just let's take another step back and let's connect the dots here. Okay, I will update this slide as well. I got all sorts of new materials for you guys. You guys are going to love it. And the impetus, we covered that. Okay, a lot of stuff going on. Key levels we just went over. Scenarios and strategies is what we kind of started to go over on smaller time frames. Now we're looking at the bigger time frames in here. Okay, so and we looked at a move to the upside there, and now we're going to be looking for the move back down, and that is our scenario. Okay, and we're going to go with that as primary scenario now, and we're going to look for continuation setups and moves back down to test that 65.85 and maybe below. Right, so that's our whole process in here. And let's come back in here and take a look. All right, so all right, and let's go into Bookmap now. Okay, because it looks like it's pretty choppy here. Oh boy, yeah, it's pretty choppy, and I'm seeing some buying pressure trying again. Okay, but they're really not getting too much traction in here. Okay, so you know, if we do see the selling coming in again, and especially, let's take a look at this in here. Okay, we can kind of draw up some more structure in here. So and repeat. Structure, so key. Let's just kind of outline it here, something like this. I know it's not the most precise. So we broke this one, okay, and we did not break this one up here. Okay, so we still have an area up here. Okay, now you can see how we tested here, found some buyers, not enough to even get out of this little range in here. Let's see if we get sellers now, and then squeeze it back down to 95 here. Okay, so that's the scenario I'm looking for here, let's see if we get it here. Okay, now we're still kind of in the range here, right? Shark and others in the pilot program, the safest way to take this low volume pullback trade is to wait for the impulse move away and then the retest. Okay, back into the low volume node on low volume. Okay, we need, and there's other criteria too, right? But then we've got something. Now this is more of a breakdown trade. I'm looking for volume to build here, and then I'm looking for the impulse move into 95 and 93. Okay, now I don't know. I don't know if that's going to unfold or not. Wow, look at this stuff, guys. Okay, so very, very high liquidity. Did you see that flash in here? And look at the reaction. Okay, these are volatile times, right? Let's just look at this in here. And guys, this is when Bookmap first came out. I have to say, it was really fascinating for me that when you see this kind of stuff in here and you see the reaction to it, it just opened up my eyes. Look at this in here. Okay, let's just zoom in a little further. Did any of this transact in here? No. Okay, not one contract. Zoom in. Actually, it shows 5 maybe, but I'm not sure where that 5 took place. Let's go back to volume dots in here. Total volume. It must have been over here someplace. Yeah, okay, it's here. It's these 5 here. Okay, so there it is right there, right? So not one transacted there, right? Let's go back to volume delta. This here looks like a spoof, big spoof. Okay, what is the reaction? Sold off. Okay, now it came right back up to here, and it makes sense. Okay, auction market theory, guys. Like this is where it moved away from. Come back, retest up in here, and then we see the more selling coming right back in. Let's see if we see more liquidity in this spoofing in here. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, all right, so yeah, it's really kind of back and forth in here. So we were looking for the drop here and the move down, and that spoof in here. Okay, and then we get the buyers in here to take it right back up to the top of this little range here. So we're still within this little range in here, right? So we're looking for insight for this to drop, right? The primary scenario here. Okay, but we're still within this range in here. Okay? We haven't gotten out of it yet. Okay? We're still reading and waiting and watching. Okay, makes sense. I hope this is making sense. Let's see here. Well, we can extend actually. I'm gonna show you guys this because I know there's a lot of people who want this, and we're working on it. But keep everything and just get rid of this guy, and use this channel tool, and then edit it, and then right click on it, edit it again, and then extend it all the way to the right. So this will always be extended now if you guys want to use that tool. Okay. Guys, there is nothing to do right now. We're not seeing much. I'm trying to read this little range in here. Let's go back to what Repeat was saying in here about market structure, higher highs, higher lows, or equal highs and lows. And let's look at the volume in here. Okay, actually the volume looks pretty good on the buy side within this range in here. Okay, so let's see if we might get some more buyers up in here. Okay, this is a smaller scenario. Primary higher time frame scenario is the move down. Okay, let's see if we get a more volume up here, a skew in the order book underneath, and let's see if the buyers can maybe get back up into 10 here. Okay, break this level and get up into 10. It would be a nice measured move as well from 98, breakout of 04, 05 up into 10. Okay, looks pretty good. Yeah, I would look for it here. And let's see if we can get that sweep up into this and hit a lot of stops along the way. We don't have a whole lot here actually to support that, to be honest. I want to see this order book skew underneath here. Okay, see how like they're down here on the bid? You'll see what I mean. Let's see if we get it here now. And you'll see the bid come up underneath here. If the bid doesn't come up underneath and the reaction to that bid being buyers, then we can stay away from it. Right? You'll see. Watch this here. We'll watch it closely. This is how order flow can help you. Okay, looking for the bid in here, right? To trap these sellers in here. See how there's really not much of a bid in here. Sellers can take it back down here again. In fact, we can see maybe the skew happen over here on the offer and the reaction be sellers. Then we look for it to 6,600 and the break down to primary scenario, break even our 98 level and continue lower. Yeah, looks like that's what's going to happen here. Let's look for these sellers to hit into 98 now. There we go. See, there's the skew we're looking for. See that skew? Okay. Now we're looking for the reaction not to be buyers in here. We're looking for it to be sellers and hit into 98, just like that. Okay, so now looking for the sellers to continue 95, 93, 89 or 90 down here. Okay, measured move from let's see, this is about 6 or 7 points. So from 97 down to 90 looks pretty good. That would be the low of the day as well. Okay, well, did it accept below here? Nope. We're back up in the range, guys. Just be really careful here. We're really looking for that impulse move, then the pullback. All right. We want to see acceptance outside of the range. This is looking much better now. Yeah, the blue jacket will be arriving Tiboho just in time for the southern hemisphere chill. All right, guys. So let's see these sellers now hit it here and get that continuation here. for our low volume pullback in here. I mean, really the low volume node is up here. I mean, there's some smaller ones right here and here, but boy, that's not much, right? Now you'll have to use the CVP column in here, and what you need to do is get look at the range in here. Actually, to be honest, we need to put this range in here. And the low volume node is, see how it's kind of obscured in here. Now, if we put this range in here, this one up here, which it did break, then we do see it pretty clearly, you know, up in here. So back to 6600 would be our low volume pull, our low volume node. All right, more sellers. Let's see them hit the bid, hit 90. There we go. Okay, and see, we get a, here's our low volume pullback again. Now this is a stop run here, and look how it just filled that right in, you know, back into that area in here. Okay, now here's our low volume node here, okay, at 92, and we kind of came back pretty close, 91 and a half, and then sellers came in. Okay, so that, I think that might be about it. We'll see. You know, we might get enough buyers to come back up in here and, you know, trade back up into here, but especially because that was a stop run here, right? So it stopped a lot of people out there. A lot. That was like 1,000. That's a big stop run. Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but you know, this is what we're looking for, is that that primary scenario, right? 85, 84, 85, almost hit it. Okay, funny enough, not a lot of liquidity down there. Okay, it's down here at 75. Okay, it's starting to come in here. Starting to come in at 85. That's kind of getting interesting. All right, guys, this is a squeeze. This is a big one. Again, trailing your stop, or you know, just protect yourself. You know, it squeezed all the way back up to the point of control or high volume node of this area here, a little bit above it, in fact. Okay. Now sellers can re-engage and sweep it right back down. Let's zoom out. Let's just let's clear some drawings in here, and we'll kind of reassess in here. Boy, higher time frame. I don't really have much to say. You know, we may even get that reversal in here. You know, one of the it's not really a setup, but it's just about 10 points in the S&P, just like this, high liquidity down here, and then get buyers back up above 6,600 here, the figure, and then get a squeeze to the upside here. Okay, hit 10 again, maybe even higher areas here. Okay, now primary scenario is still, you know, the momentum here to the downside. what we're watching in here. We got the break here, and we got the high volume on it on this break too. But buyers come back in for the squeeze here. Good morning over in YouTube, Sven, or I'm sorry, yeah, Svet and Sojourn. Guys over in YouTube, I encourage you to come over to our Discord channel. So we do this webinar, 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. East Coast time. And we cover a lot of different things in many markets in here. That's why it's the All Markets webinar. But the Academy program and the pilot program are much more kind of specified and tailored to trading. So if you want to partake in that, you'll need to come over to our Discord channel and check it out. Okay. There's no cost to it, so you really got nothing to lose there. You will need to sign up at bookmap.com with credentials to be able to access it, though. All right, guys, so another squeeze happening here. Actually looks pretty good to hit 10 again, and that's my kind of shorter term scenario in here. I'm looking for it to hit up into 10 or this liquidity here, maybe a bit higher, and kind of fill in and test some of these low volume nodes in here. Okay, see if it auction accepts up here or not. It's kind of telegraphing to us right now it doesn't want to accept up here. Let me show you this. I know you guys all know this, but like here's our profile here, this big, here's our kind of big distribution here, right? All the trading that's taking place in here. Okay. Up in here there was very little that traded, and up in here not a whole lot traded. Okay, so are we going to see buyers come back up and retest, re-auction in here to see if there is value in this instrument up in these areas up here? Okay, now the order flow is telling us something. It is not. They've got to trade into all of these sellers in here, willing to sell at these areas here. If there's more buying pressure, then there is selling limit orders here or liquidity, then we will visit this area. Okay, if these sellers continue to just put their liquidity in the market and absorb all of that buying, if there is buying, then it will turn around and come back down and trade back into this big range in here. And we can even look for that primary scenario again of retrading back down into these levels here. Repeat, nice to hear. Thank you. Learn something every day. So, well, we're trying to get more specific. I think I think for years I think I've covered too many things, and maybe it was a little confusing. And if I can maybe be a little more focused, pilot program's definitely helping there, and then yeah, then we can look and test some of these more focused approaches and see how they work out or not. right? I mean, there's something like I've been dying to tell you guys, and it's from options guys and John. Um, I was just fascinated by it. You guys know the pitchfork tool, right? So here, I can show it over here. Okay, I always kind of look at some of these tools in here, and let's go to the ES. Okay, now this is we can look at Trading View in here. This is a view of or a version of Trading View that's free from what is it called, investing.com. And the pitchfork in here, it's right here. I forget what you call it in here, whose pitchfork it is, but really interesting to kind of put this together with options. And I'm not doing it right. But you know, you're looking at here a diagonal, and then you're looking at standard deviations. Okay, here's 1, here's 2, right? And what I thought was rather interesting, and let me see if I can grab it here. I'm not an expert at it, that's for sure. Let me try this again. Now, well, anyway, let me show you kind of what I was thinking in here. Looking at channels, right? And you know, starting to understand the bigger trend line. Okay, this isn't bad actually, because I do see it's kind of respecting this trend line in here, and then here's one standard deviation. Right now, here's a deviation below it, but look at this pop to the upside here. Okay, it just comes back up to the other top of the range in here, and another diagonal here. Okay, so what I was going to float over to you options guys, so is these kinds of moves in here might be a lot of options and how they need to hedge. And then we see these kind of erratic moves like this, and then the trend continues. I was just kind of wondering, or you know, speculating that maybe this is a good thing to kind of look at every now and then and understand how these trends start again after the trend line broke, right? So anyway, it was just a thought, and we can do that in here very easily in Bookmap. We don't have the pitchfork tool, but we can use channels, or we can just draw another trend line. Okay, and let's start to understand that. Okay, so maybe there was some covering or something in here, and we get like another kind of channel that starts to unfold in here. Anyway, it's something that, again, right now it's a distraction to you guys, but I was dying to tell you about it. So maybe there's something to it. You use that tool, Alois, 20 years ago. Yeah, exactly. I mean, all these tools, and you play around with this and that, and like, I don't know, you know, trying to make heads or tails of it. I mean, you know, it's going to hit one of these lines one time or another. You know, that's what I really have a problem with fibs. There's some fib levels I don't have a problem with at all, like the 100%, the 200%, and the 50%. No problem. It makes clear sense to me that traders are reacting at those areas. Anyway, you know, the measured moves, the 100% makes total sense to me. And the 50% move as well, back to kind of point of control. Yeah, the other, I mean, it's so elusive. You want like this, you know, universe to be like, oh, there's a golden ratio to it, to everything. And you look at it, but then you start putting all these fib lines in there, and it's going to hit one of them. You know, it's like moving averages. Well, no, it hit the 9. No, it hit the 20. No, it hit the 50. You know what? Then you don't know what you're doing. So Anyway, that's why, as you guys know, I don't like to look at that kind of stuff. I like to look at this context between really the mechanics in here: limit sell orders, limit buy orders, market structure, and aggressive volume, okay? And where it's transacting. That context between all these things. So this is what we did. We hit this 90 in here. I was looking for a pullback and a rollover again. We didn't get it. We got to squeeze back up to the top of the range here. Okay, repeat. Yep. You're looking at a bunch of stuff in profile as well. Great. Yeah, I mean, I really like the kind of, there's a what is it? I want to say like kind of a rationale to the profiles, and I really like it. And we will get into more profiles. We'll integrate that into the pilot program in Academy as well. We have a new tool, but that can show multiple days. However, it's going to show even more pretty soon. Okay, and I'm kind of waiting for that, and then we'll get more into it. Okay, so it makes really good sense in here. Like, look at this distribution of price. This is what all the traders are telling us in here, right? That this is value right now. This is a fair price in here, especially where it is right now. This is the fairest price. Okay, this one's developing here. Well, let's actually just add the point of control right to it. Okay, yeah, and you can see how it's going back and forth in here. So sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here. Builds volume here, and this becomes the point of control, right? Whatever. It's a zone right now. And here's another one up here, though, right? Pretty close. So maybe if there's enough buyers here, you can look for. And now this would be a scalp, and it's not a setup, guys, but it could be something you need to look into. Buyers back up to here, and maybe here's your kind of low volume node. And that's where you just dump it off. Okay, now maybe look for a little bit higher move up into this liquidity up here at 10. That's what we were looking at earlier. Okay, but this is another value area here. Okay, now we need to see volume, though, trade in here and trade through it. And did we get that here? Nope, didn't. So we're right back down into it. Okay, now what we need to see is volume move it away from value. Okay, trading from the inside out. Okay, so we're looking for a lot of volume here, a skew in the order book. Here we just had this transaction take place, and we found some buyers here, and we're above it here. Okay, let's see, do we find more buyers here? And then we can go through this scenario. Yep, we'd look for it to trade right up to here. Okay, here's some guy at 05 providing liquidity. Okay, and that would be hitting your single right there, using profile. And then if maybe we can get a few more buyers, and they'll trade back up higher here. Okay, now this is not really the low volume pullback. It kind of is on a lower time frame, but look at this in here. And then where did it here? It transacted up in this little area in here, and here's kind of low volume in here. Okay, now it's off now. You see that there's a lot of transactions in here. Okay, so we look for a move here and a rejection immediately and come back up into here. That's what we're looking for. Okay, right now, see how it's accepting down below again. So it didn't do it. All right, here we go again. Buyers trying again. Okay, there's 05. And let's look for a potential pullback. Look at the bid. Looks pretty good. The bid is, see how it's supporting it underneath. Now let's look for, okay, pull back into these areas in here. Now here's where it kind of rejected and went through, right? Okay, let's see if it rejects again. see, we get buyers, and let's see the skew in the order book. They're pulling here. That's good. I want to see more on the bid, and I want to see them trade up into 06 and a quarter. Okay, let's see it, buyers. I don't really like it, guys. I have to be honest. I don't see that skew here, but it's playing out, right? Anyway, the reason that I just don't want to take a trade like if it's kind of halfway there, right? Well, the scenario is playing out, and that was just minutes in here. You know, you can trade or look at some of these ideas on smaller time frames and higher time frames. Depends on your style of trading. Are you scalping? If you're scalping, you're probably out, or at least trailing your stop. If you're a higher time frame, you're probably getting kind of interested right now. For this squeeze. Let's see. What else do we got here? Okay. So it's the 20th. It's the third Friday. We have options expiration, triple witching, all next week in here as well. There's still a time difference between US and Europe and London. Okay. So like right now, it's 11:15 here. But in Europe, it's what, 3:15? Or I'm sorry, London. In Europe, it's 4:15. Okay, so we still have, you know, European traders involved in the market. Okay, it's not the close. Welcome spring. Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll all be aligned in after the 29th. All right, let's see if there's any questions in here. Tube. So, Jorn, you came over to Discord and engaged in chats, but never. Okay, I don't know which rooms he came over to. But we have pretty active community over there. Very active. Like what? Any data delays? No, I'm not getting any. I'm looking at bookmap data in here, and I'm not having any. Okay, guys, interesting stuff. Back up to the top here. And this was another scenario. We were talking about exactly this scenario. Trading back up and building out this little area here and maybe up to like top of the range in here, maybe 10. We didn't even get to 10. We're back in the middle here. We're back into volume, value. Okay, you're asking about skew. Question about skew. Yeah, let's cover this. This is a really good topic. Okay, I think I'm caught up over there. All right, so order book skew. And liquidity. Okay, so on higher time frames, when we zoom out, and we want to understand where the limit buy and sell orders are, where the liquidity is, where are larger players lined up to transact. Okay, and you know, Bookmap does a good job by looking at these areas in here. Now, if you guys need a hand on that as well, Let me get rid of this point of control. It's just kind of driving me nuts. Okay, there we go. So we can right click in here, go to heat map settings, or you can come up in here and then go to heat map settings as well. It takes you to the same place. And we can filter this heat map. Okay, if it's, you know, if you zoom out and you don't make much sense of it, you know, you can filter it in here. There's upper and lower cutoff in here. And there's more than that as well. There's, you know, some advanced features in here that you can look at as well, and apply those, or you can use exact sizing in here. Okay, the upper and lower cutoff percentages are sliders. Okay, if we put in here, let's say 200. Okay, see how I'm putting in 200 contracts in here. Now look in the order book in here. Where do we see there's 200? I don't see it anywhere. Okay, so it really, over here you can see it, as we covered that earlier in the webinar. So this is too much, right? So let's put in 100. Okay, and it's still quite a bit. I mean, you can see here like 100 in here is, if we zoom in a little bit, it's going to get a lot brighter. And you know, now we can see some of these areas in here. 120, right? Is this color in here? Why isn't it dark red in here? Well, because there's still other areas in here that are scaling that 100. Okay, right? So that's why. Anyway, if you want to use exact size, this slider will pretty much do the trick, though. And zoom in also. This was, I think, PMag was talking about this yesterday in the Academy meeting. He was looking at this and he's going, well, did it fill 3 areas of liquidity on the way down? And he wasn't sure, so he kind of had to zoom in here and look at it. Okay, and it's like, okay, 1, 2, you know, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, did it transact? Well, this area actually didn't. This did. Okay, so 1. Okay, 2, 3, that's for sure. And we got a nice reaction out of that, actually. All right, guys, back to primary scenario here, and coming back down to our bottom end of the profile in here. Let's see, MT9, nice to see you. I've never seen you in here before. Pilot program has value, definitely do follow it. Excellent. And yeah, I think we're going to add a lot more value next week. That's my hope and my promise. So I'm trying the best I can. Anyway, one of the stops and icebergs settings use dynamic range. I do use it. So here we're looking at stops and icebergs here in the subchart. I really like the subchart, yeah, welcome to the family. And I like the setting that I have in here, but I know what you're talking about, and looking at it being more dynamic. Okay, and let's cover that, and we'll show the on chart stops and icebergs as well. Okay, I'm just looking to see if we get our move here. Anyway, all right, let's go over it here. I'm looking to see if these sellers can pound it down into 90 here, and get a lot of these buyers look for another stop run here. So let's look at on chart. Okay, and the setting you're talking about is the dynamic in here, and I think this is what you're talking about, MT9. I really like this. I thought this was brilliant. when the programmers came up with this, is see how I'm looking at a threshold here right now. Individual threshold is 38. So it has this is for an iceberg in here. It has to be 38 or greater. Wow, guys, this has got to be some news in here. Okay, yep. All right, and looks like it wants to continue going long here. So this is probably pretty good news. Okay, here's our, we're not getting much of a pullback either. This would be your low volume node here. There we go. All right, let's see if we get buyers come back in again. All right, and let's see if they can come back up to 20. No, no. No, this can't be just a stop run. That's got to be some news. Anyway, let's take a look. All right, this is pulling right back into our range. Yeah, sellers got burned. Absolutely, guys. This is the environment we are in. You know, you have to be careful here, and especially like, God, we had FOMC. We have options expiration. Market hit the put wall. The put wall is up here, 66.20, John, something like that, or it's down here, 95, the low. Okay. Okay, so then, John, can we speculate on this in here? This is some options dealers in here. And this is exactly what I was talking about for that big option level for NQ SPX. Okay, that for that pitchfork in here, you know, kind of the trend will resume after something like this. Anyway, all right, so let's go back over. Sorry about this, guys. It's kind of hard to go over all these different things when we get a lot of volatility. Okay, stops and icebergs on chart. All right, so right now I have that's an alert threshold. Let's open this back up. 38 is my threshold. Okay, so I'm going to make it 0. Okay, also my aggregate threshold. So now I'm going to look at every single, you know, iceberg in here, right? They are consolidating in here when I zoom out, but it'll show everyone when I zoom in. I think this is what you're talking about. Now, if I MT9, I put in my automatic individual threshold. Standard deviation in minutes is 60, and my standard deviation multiplier is 1. So now it's looking at, see how it's grayed out here? I cannot change that. If I change these automatic settings, though, either minutes or my slider here for multiplier, I will change this here. Okay, now what's nice about this setting that I like so much is that it's for 60 minutes. Okay, so a sliding 60-minute time frame. So this will change over time. This number is not always going to be 88. So that gives me a feel for a, you know, kind of a standard deviation of the stops and icebergs. And if it's 50 or above, show it. If it's below, don't show it. Right? I really like the feature, and it helps kind of, you know, clarify some of the things in here. Okay, let's take a look at, like, I'm going to deselect that one for a minute because I want to look at just the stops in here, because that's a big stop run. Oh. Okay. Let's bring down the aggregate threshold here as well. Okay. It's not as big as I thought. Okay, so here, now it aggregates all these guys. So, 48, 273, 11, 49 on the upside. Let's zoom out to that bigger one over here, right? Here, like here you can see these really big ones on the way down, right? That's kind of what we were looking at here. On the way up as well, we saw a big one in here. Here, 658 and followed by 153. Okay, thanks, John. DNT, thank you. Okay. All right, guys, now after that, the market can resume its trend. Okay. Now, so the put wall is down here. And let's see, can we get through it then? Now, what we have here is another another element to add into the market, and that is options levels. Okay, now I'm not looking at them in here. We're just looking at Bookmap and the order flow. There's other services out there, but I do want to show you something though, and this is there's no cost to this service whatsoever, and it's been out for a long time, and we've covered it before, but I don't really go over it very much. Come on. Okay, here we go. It's from the CME. Okay, it's free, and okay, I should have, there it is. Okay, so maybe a lot of people are using it right now. So this is soybeans right now. We want to look at equities indexes here, and we want to look at the S&P, and then we have the some of these ranges in here. Okay, these are calls, these are puts. Okay, and there's I haven't gotten into too many of the details in here, guys, but anyway, you can like I said, this is all free from the CME. You can look at yesterday's values, you can look at open interest, you can look at intraday's values in here. There's a lot of stuff in here to go through. Here's volume settlement as well, this curve to the downside. So anyway, you can start to look at both calls and puts in here, and where we see a lot of put buying and call buying. So here, 6,600, and let's see here, what do we have? 6,590, and let's see what we got here. Yeah, down here. Okay. Well, like I said, I don't really know the details in this. I've been putting some of these levels in and testing them. Maybe someone wants to take on that project, but we can put those levels directly in here. Anyway. That's a pretty nasty move. And I can't believe that's just options. So let's take a look here. And over on our, we got a news feed in here for Financial Juice. Okay, I'm not getting much out of it. A White House event here. Maybe it's the end of that White House event. Maybe that's it. And a lot of holding of options. And then this is that makes good sense to me. So holding for that event, and then they have to release it all as the event comes to an end here. Potentially, I don't know. I'm just speculating on that. Yeah, nothing red on financial juice. Okay, well, I mean, there's other stuff in here that press conference has come to an end, and if there's no bad news, maybe the market is going to react to that, and maybe this is what we're looking for in here. Let's see if we can get buyers to trade back up into the top of the range in here. Okay, well, that would be the a scenario to look at right now. That's we're going to base that off of order flow and the news. Okay, and the order flow is panning out. I'm seeing aggressive buyers. I'm looking for them to trade back to 05, and then you know, back to potentially our big range here. Okay, back up into yeah, somewhere around 10 or so. There's a lot of liquidity up here at 12. Okay. Okay, looking at this area of rejection here, 6,600. Okay, there's our test into it. Now let's see if we get a rejection. Okay, do we see buyers come back in, back up into here around 02? There's a bit. Okay, what's the order book look like? Is it, would you see that skew in here? No. No. Okay, it's a little bit down here. And there's some buyers. No, nothing happening. Master Chief. Yeah, news channels open to all. Well, yikes, guys. Like, just look, if it's not making sense to you, like I think we covered this in the other webinar on Tuesday. You don't have all the pieces. You don't have that solid setup. Like, is it worth it? You know, you don't need to trade. You need to like look for and build out your edge and look for your setup. And then and put these pieces together. I mean, and the biggest filter in here for today, in my opinion, is like, look, it's options expiration. It's rollover period. This is rolled over, but like it's expiration today, and we have a lot of geopolitical stuff going on, and news can come out at any instant, and just you know, kind of roil the markets. So, you know, is your setup look really good, and and then do you want to put risk on in that environment, in this environment? Okay, maybe if you want to really reduce your risk, okay, trade smaller, trade micros, whatever it is. Okay, let's see. MT9, you got something in here for filtering. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I mean, the CME is like, you know, super. They try to be as transparent, as objective as they can, and offer stuff like MBO data. I mean, it's also the most centralized exchange out there. or one of the most, which is that's a huge boon for us as traders. There's no kind of dark pool transactions, ECNs like outside of or over the counter or anything like this. It's not that way in futures, and that offers a lot of transparency. All right, guys, I'm way over my time. I just sorry, I kind of got onto a diatribe there. Guys, let's wrap it up. We'll call it a week here, and looking forward to next week with a lot more materials, another setup for that pilot program, and launch this thing. Okay, we've got another setup here, and traders like DNT. Or a lot of you guys, DNT is already doing it. He has mastered the kind of trend line break accumulation, but he's now integrating this low volume pullback within it as well. Okay, so they really play off of each other and kind of mesh very well, because if you look for that reversal, then you're looking for a continuation move after. All right, so they go really well together, and you will understand, those in the program already understand what it takes for a reversal to unfold, and that passive accumulation is really kind of a key. So the next step is to look for the continuation move, where we won't get passive accumulation. In fact, we'll be targeting that passive accumulation or high liquidity, right? Okay, guys. Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for all the support, all the help, and we got a really nice community here. I want to thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next week. All right. Yeah, take care. Have a good weekend.